Hello, Miss Amy. How are you? Okay, so you asked me to show you Cinchshare, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so first thing is you have to set up an account. You can do a free trial. I actually went ahead and bought a year subscription. I have found that it is incredibly helpful, and I can't remember if you get all of the features with the free trial, so I just went ahead and I can't remember exactly how much it costs. Let's see. We can go to pricing and find out. I feel like it was like, okay, yeah, so you can do, as low as $8 a month. I think I did a full year for like $100 or something. But anyway, not a big deal from price perspective and totally worth it. So, okay. Once you set up your account, you have to do all of that, you log in, and this is what the interface looks like. So I'm going to just show you the most basic type version. There's a couple things you're going to see here on my dashboard that you're not going to have at first, particularly your timeline and your groups. So when you first come in and set up your account, you will attach it to your Facebook account. So you're going to have to obviously know your username and password for Facebook, and it will then associate with that. And then you'll see what guides you are these icons over here on the left. So I'm just clicking on each one now, hovering over them so you can see what they are, but I'll go through each one of them. So the first one is to schedule a post. The second one is to your networks. The third one is your text clips. I wouldn't worry about that one for right now. Manage your posts and the user guide. And the user guide is actually very helpful, and it does have all sorts of information if you need it. But once you figure it out, it's pretty straightforward. So for your networks, I will tell you the one tricky thing about Cinchshare is once you first come in and associate it with your Facebook account, you need to often refresh this page just to make sure that things actually are. So like if you add a new group or you add a new page, you're going to want to come in here and refresh by clicking on the refresh, and it goes out to your Facebook page and it looks for anything new. And that includes any new parties that you've set up. So I'm Totally Foxy Bags. You can see here it automatically pulls in my groups. When I click on Totally Foxy Bags, it will show me any events that I have scheduled. And this is important because you obviously have your own personal timeline that will have albums and events and all sorts of other things too. And you want to make sure that you're clicking on the right one depending on where you set up the Facebook party. So if you set it up under your own personal one, you're going to be in your timeline, right? You're going to look at your Amy Woodard timeline. If you actually set up the party through your VIP group, then you're going to want to look for the event under your VIP group. Okay, does that make sense so far? And then you'll see these hearts over here. This is what lets these things show up on the page where you're going to be scheduling your posts. So remember, that was the first one up top here. And as you saw, my timeline shows up here. I had an event here because I favorited it under my networks. This other party shows up here because I favorited it under my networks. So I'll just show you if I go back to my networks, when I'm under Totally Foxy Bags, if I unheart the 20 and under party, then when I go back to here to schedule a post, you'll see there's nothing under Totally Foxy Bags right now, because these are your things that are showing up based on what you click on the My Network page. So you're going to want to remember which timeline your event is under, whether it's your personal one or your VIP group. And then wherever those parties are, you said there were 9 of them, you're going to want to put these little hearts next to all of those so that they show up when you're going to schedule your posts. Okay, that's the first thing. Once you have all that, then you come back to this dashboard, and now you'll be able to see your main timeline, but you'll also be able to see whatever favorite groups you put on there and And when you click on either one of those, you'll be able to see whatever events you put hearts next to under your My Networks. Okay, that's the first step. And that's kind of, quite honestly, the hardest part of all of this is just getting that down. Once you figure that out, it's pretty straightforward, because then these things will stay here until you unheart them. So as long as you heart them, they will show up, right? So over here on My Networks, I put a heart next to my timeline, next to my VIP group, and then they show up. Okay, that's the first step. Now, the next thing is actually scheduling the post. The first part, the text part of your post, that's pretty easy. It's under here where it says post message. You're just going to say, "Hi ladies, this is the first day of our party," whatever. And you're going to type in whatever it is you want to say. Now, as you're going, you can put whatever text you want to put in here. If you're following like one of the Melissa Feetsum simple Facebook scripts, those are the easiest ones to start with. She literally gives you all the text you can use. You can copy it and paste it right in here. No big deal. I would tell you that just for a best practice, it's really good if you label your post somehow. So pre-party post, number 1. Because once you go to schedule them, if you have to go back and make any edits later, it reorganizes how they're going to show up. And I'll show you that in a minute. But it can get confusing. So I always put some kind of label at the top of them so I can keep them in order, especially if I'm doing a whole bunch at one time. So pre-party post number 1, "Hi ladies, this is the first day of our party." Okay, now you might want an image, and you have a bunch of different ways of putting an image with this post. The simplest one is if you have a picture just on your computer, like you've saved a picture to your computer, then you do it just like you would upload any other kind of a document to anything, right? You go to upload photo and browse, and let's say, let's see, I have all the catalog photos here. So here's the all-in organizers. That's the picture I want. I click on it. That's all I have to do. If you have a photo somewhere that has a URL, so for instance, if you've put photos on Google Drive, you can use the URL from there, and you can put that in here, and then the picture would show up there instead. Let's see if I can use this URL. I did this thing this morning. I don't know if this will work. Let's try it. Nope, that one's not working. Okay, so ignore that. We'll just go back to the picture that I had. But yeah, if you have a URL for a picture like one that you've stored in Google Drive, you can put that here. Or if you're trying to do a bunch of pictures at one time, let's say from your, let's say you've created a business page and you've created albums in there, and you want to import a whole bunch of pictures, you can do that. So let's say, oops, sorry, I've got all sorts of stuff going on in Facebook here. Here I'm going to my business page. This is my Organizing Totally Foxy Bags. Where is it? I haven't been here in a while. So, oh, here. They changed the way these pages look. So I can go into my photos. I can go see all my albums. When I get to, let's say I wanted to use I'm not going to actually do this, but let's say I wanted to, I could take the URL from this album. I think this will work. Hold on a second. And then I could do a Facebook import. Nope. Oh, maybe I have to do that as a link. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. Yep, I did it as a link. And now you can see, instead of just one picture, it's got a whole bunch of pictures, right? It's got all the pictures of the album. So if you have an album, you just put the URL right in that box and click the little thing that looks like a link, and that will work. You can also import stuff from Facebook. Let's not get really super crazy. I would suggest either doing a single picture or an album from Facebook or from Google or wherever you have your albums now. And that's the easiest way to do it. super simple. If you want to do one picture, just do it from your computer. If you want to do multiple pictures, do an album from Facebook or Google Drive or whatever. Okay, then you want to pick your date and time. So when do you want your pre-party post to be there? Let's say you're starting your first one tomorrow and you wanted it to be at 10 a.m. You just literally pick the day and time. Very simple. I don't ever worry. You make sure your time zone is correct. Mine is correct, but make sure yours is. I don't ever worry about a category. I leave that blank. And then you just need to indicate where you want it to show up. So if your party's under your VIP group, you want it to show up there. If your party's under your personal timeline, because you've hearted all your stuff under My Networks, you click the box there. And it's whichever one you want it to show up in. So I'm just going to click one just to show you. So I know I've just said a lot of stuff. It's actually really simple. Your text for your post, the picture or album that you want with the post, the date, the time, and where you want it to show up on Facebook. It's really that simple. Okay, like I said, the hardest part is really kind of just getting yourself organized and set up in the first place. And then once you've done all of those things, you just click on, and you can see here, it says August 13th, 10 a.m. Click on Schedule Post. And now it's over here on the right-hand side. And this is where I said, this is why you want to give them labels, because if you had a whole bunch of these, let's say you have, 10 of them going down here, and then you go and edit one of them, which you can do by clicking on that corner and you can edit it. When you edit it, it then puts it at the top of the list. So even if it's not the first one in chronological order, it'll show up at the top. So I always label them, that way I can keep them straight. Okay. If you said you're doing 9 parties, if you want to copy and do the same, let's say you want to use the same pre-party post in every one of your 9 parties, you could use this little feature over here and do copy post, and look, it just created it all over again. And now you can pick a different day and time or a different party. Let's say you want them all to start at August 13th at 10 a.m., but now you have a second party. You just choose your other party down here. And, if you've created all 9 of your parties, they're going to show up either under your personal timeline or under the group timeline, and you'll be able to check them all. And that's the other thing you could do. Instead of doing the copy, if you have all 9 of your parties set up at one time and you want everything to run at the same day and the same time, you could create the post once and then just check all those parties down here, because they'll all be showing up because you put the hearts next to them on the My Network page. You can do them all at one time. So that's another way to do that. They did just release, you see it says new feature released here. They did just release a batch feature. I haven't actually played with that yet, so I don't know how to teach that one to you, because you can batch post to all of your parties at one time. I haven't tried that feature because I haven't really needed to, but you may want to, whoops, that went away. Every time you log in, that pops up. You may want to check out how to batch post if you're really trying to do all 9 at the same time. And if that thing does go away, don't forget down here where it had the question mark is the user guide. Now, it's telling me it's going to leave the page. It's telling me that because it looks like I'm in the middle of scheduling a post. If I leave the page while I'm in the middle of scheduling a post, whatever work I've done goes away. So if you're in the middle of scheduling a post and you haven't scheduled it yet and you don't want to lose your stuff, finish what you're doing before you leave the page. All right, so I'm going to leave the page because I'm fine. And you can see here they have getting started, they have video tutorials, they have a community, so there's all sorts of help. And one of the things here, I thought I saw it the other day, was about batch posting, but now I'm not seeing it. Now I'm just talking to myself. Oh, how to schedule a batch of posts within seconds. So it shows you and it will teach you. So you can do that as well. Okay, so going back to and you can see I lost everything I was doing before, right? All that's gone except for the one that I already scheduled. The one that's once they're scheduled, they don't disappear unless you delete them. Now the other one, so we've looked at scheduling a post, we've looked at my networks. Don't worry about text clips. That's not important for now. Manage posts. Here you can see your history. You can see what's pending. So you can see I have the one I scheduled that's pending. You can see anything you've saved. I haven't saved any posts. But I think the history, this piece right here, is what is important for the batch from what I could just tell. So this just shows you, like you can see, when I was doing my scavenger hunt, I went ahead and I did all of those, and I used Cinchshare so that I could do one an hour so that I wouldn't have to be at my computer all day. And you can see from, let's see, August 1st through August 4th, those were those were posts that I used Cinchshare for the party that I did. And you can even see, starting on July 29th, some of my pre-post things. So anyway, but it's actually really straightforward. Once you get your account set up, come into your networks, get your networks all refreshed, and heart the ones that you want to show up on your main page. Go to your scheduled post, enter your text, pick your individual folder or the link for your album, and click the link. Pick your date, your time, and where you want it to show up, schedule post. It's really that easy. It seems hard, but once you do the first couple, it's really not a big deal. There's other features, but I'm not going to show you anything else right now because that's enough. And that's it. So watch this video, replay it if you have to. I try not to go too fast, but I'm from New Jersey. I talk fast. You know that. So take a look at it. And if you have any questions, if you want me to walk you through it like over Zoom or something or whatever, just let me know. And that's it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.